Alright, let's talk about tension. So, this was something I had a big struggle with. Vocal cord tension, neck tension, tension in the shoulders, especially reaching up for those high notes, right? I say that lightly because you don't ever want to reach for notes. You want them to come naturally. But when I was younger, I actually had braces, and I remember my teeth were so messed up, guys. I have like a fake tooth here. I have a crown here, veneer here. I have like 7 cavities. Like, my teeth were just a mess, and they're all crooked. Like, it was a mess. So, but I remember specifically they put these bumps on the back of my teeth to correct my bite in my jaw, so that my teeth would line up properly. And it didn't occur to me at the time, but like in order to line my teeth back up, I kept like subconsciously it's kind of pushing my jaw back using the muscles like on here, and it just kind of, instead of kind of like being like this, like relaxed, I'm exaggerating it too. Instead of being like, relaxed and loose, it's kind of like tight, like pushed back. I don't know how else to explain it. And a couple of years ago, I was just doing some tension relieving exercises. If you want to get specific, it was Jamie Vendera's vocal stress release, I think is what it's called. And part of it is when you just like, you massage around your jaw, you massage your neck, you massage your shoulders. And I remember doing this one, and like the first time I did it, I was just going like this, and I just felt a huge release. And like that same day or the next day, I can't remember exactly. It was a while ago. My voice felt stronger. It felt so much stronger because what was happening is this jaw tension that was shifting my jaw back into my skull / neck. It was causing my voice to kind of be covered and not really come out properly. So to relieve tension, it's not just about while you're singing. Sometimes you really have to dig into the actual muscles and massage them and stretch them, and do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of yoga, a little bit of just self-care in general around this area of the body, and just massaging. And because until I did that, I was hitting dead ends and I wasn't getting anywhere. And like that was like a huge breakthrough, because now when I sing, I don't even think about it. Like, my bite still goes back when I bite things. So like, I don't know if you can see it, but like when I sing, my jaw goes from about here to like here. It's very, very subtle, but it's just enough to like open up the throat and allow for the acoustic space, so that instead of my voice sounding like covered and like straining when it comes out, it actually comes out full with resonance and power. It's the weirdest thing, but tension is not always about how you sing and how you approach it. Sometimes it's tension in the body. It could be from trauma. It could be from something stupid like the little bumps they put on the back of my teeth when I was a kid. It could be really from anything. If you have stiffness in your neck, your shoulders, your jaw, like especially stress, this is why it's so important. This is why I push yoga so much in my book. Like any type of yoga. It doesn't have to be like physical yoga. Like if you're not physically able to really do a lot of positions and stretches, like I just had hip surgery 2.5 weeks ago, so I'm not doing yoga right now. But yoga's more to me, yes, I do the physical part when I can, but it's also about just being self-aware of where you're putting tension in the body. So that daily stress, if you have a job that stresses you out, if you have kids that stress you out, if you have finances that stress you out, and it's all pouring over into your voice if you're not conscious of it. So, a lot of us hold so much tension in our jaw, TMJ, things like that. Like your jaw might just get tense from stress, and it's super important to just massage that out, and just throughout the day do a check on yourself, right? Like, am I gripping the steering wheel a little harder from stress? Mental stress will come out as physical stress in the body if we let it, if we don't moderate it, if we don't pay attention to it. So it's very important to do things that relieve stress every single day. It's very important to massage the neck, the chest, or not the chest, but the shoulders. I guess you can massage the chest. Sometimes it's all connected, the pecs, right? Just get in there and relieve some tension. Even the pelvic region sometimes gets locked up from sitting down too long, and all these things can create tension in the body. And if you have tension in one spot, even if it's not necessarily in here, but it's like down here or here, it can still, your body can still compensate and pull in other places, and it might work its way up subtly. So it's super important that when we focus on relieving tension, we're not just focusing on how we approach the voice, but how we approach the entire body, how we approach our mental health, how we handle stress. Are we keeping it in the jaw? Are we letting it go? Are we attaching to negative experiences and identifying with them? Or are we just kind of like recognizing that it's a part of the experience and letting it go? Are we holding grudges against people? Or are we, again, forgiving and letting it go? It's super important to not let these things manifest in the body, because if the first time, not even the first time, man, it's crazy. Like, unless you're a yogi, you might not really understand this fully, but you probably still do a physical activity of some kind. It's like, but yoga specifically, when you do certain stretches, like in the hips, or you'll feel different emotions come out. It's just the weirdest thing, because your body's manifesting them, and like half of that you could let go with yoga, but the other half is just mental. Like you have to just learn to be at peace with your life, and even if you just go for a walk, maybe you feel a little bit better after. It's because you moved up a lot of your chi, a lot of that energy, and a lot of that emotions, and it's yes, part of it's like a kind of a dopamine release, like kind of high, but another part of it is that you've released some of those areas in the body that are holding tension. So yes, tension, you can cause it by singing in bad technique, but it's also a day-to-day living thing that you have to pay close attention to. Otherwise, it will manifest in the neck and the jaw and the shoulders and the core and the hips, and it'll manifest in your whole body. So mindfulness, massaging, just general self-care and stretching every single day is really the best way to relieve tension in the voice.